Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of August 18th, 2024. I'm your host, Sharifa Muhammad MGT.
I'm Colonel AUC Oguntoye, an infantry officer. Artillery and equipment destruction. There's a consistent emphasis on the destruction of a wide array of Ukrainian military equipment, including advanced artillery units from the US, UK, and Poland, as well as electronic warfare stations and multiple launch rocket systems.
Welcome to Frontline Updates podcast. Today, we're joined by Colonel AUC Oguntoye to discuss the latest developments in the ongoing special military operation as of August 18th, 2024. Colonel, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Let's dive right in. Could you update us on the overall progress of the special military operation today?
The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue to conduct operations across several fronts. Our forces are actively engaging and inflicting significant losses on enemy manpower and equipment, and we continue to strengthen our tactical positions.
You mentioned significant losses inflicted on enemy forces. Can you provide more specifics on these losses in the Kharkiv region?
In the Kharkiv region, particularly around the settlements of Lipsy, Bely-Kolodez, and Volchansk, our North Group of forces has been particularly effective. We've dealt losses to the 43rd Mechanized, 92nd Assault, and 36th Marine Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, totaling approximately 90 servicemen, along with a loss of critical equipment including 3 vehicles, various artillery units, and an electronic warfare station.
That sounds like a strategic blow to Ukrainian forces. What about the actions of the West Group of forces?
The West Group has also made significant headway. They've occupied more advantageous lines and positions, defeating several Ukrainian brigades in the process. This includes areas around Petropavlivka, Tabayevka, and further into the Luhansk and Donetsk People's Republics. Here, the enemy's casualties were notably high, with up to 440 servicemen lost and a considerable amount of artillery destroyed, including Polish and British-made howitzers.
Moving southwards, what can you tell us about the Southern Group's operations?
The Southern Group of troops has improved their tactical position dramatically. They inflicted losses on the 24th Mechanized, 5th Assault Brigades, and others in the Donetsk People's Republic, resulting in up to 420 Ukrainian servicemen lost, alongside significant destruction of artillery and ammunition depots.
With such intensive operations, how are the Russian forces maintaining their defense against potential invasions?
We remain vigilant. For instance, our forces in the north, along with Army aviation and artillery support, are conducting reconnaissance and search operations to thwart enemy sabotage groups attempting to penetrate deep into Russian territory. We've effectively repelled several attacks, maintaining our defensive integrity.
And what about the East and DNEPR regions?
In the east, our forces have solidified positions along the front line and dealt decisively with enemy brigades, repelling counterattacks and destroying significant military equipment. Similarly, in the Dnieper region, our operations have resulted in the loss of up to 75 Ukrainian servicemen and the destruction of 2 US-made M777 howitzers.
And finally, Colonel, what are the cumulative impacts of these operations since they began?
Since the beginning of operations, we've achieved significant destruction of enemy capabilities. This includes the downing of aircraft, destruction of tanks, armored vehicles, and artillery pieces, among others. Our operational tactical aviation, UAVs, and missile troops continue to play a crucial role in these successes.
With such intense ongoing operations, how effective have your air defense systems been?
Our air defense systems have proven highly effective. Just recently, they shot down multiple guided bombs, HIMARS rockets, and unmanned aerial vehicles. This includes a successful defense against a group strike on critical infrastructure, showcasing our readiness and technical capability.
As we conclude, can you reflect on the Kursk region?
I spent the last 2 days at several command posts of one Special Forces unit. The situation on their section of the front has relatively stabilized. The enemy's global advance has been stopped. But this does not mean that everything has suddenly become good. The situation remains very tense. The enemy is constantly counterattacking, literally 24/7. The armed forces of the Russian Federation are fighting back. The line of combat contact is currently very fluid, jagged in places. Enemy sabotage and reconnaissance groups are active. At the same time, some attacks by the Ukrainian armed forces border on recklessness. As we learned from prisoners, they have problems with communication, interaction, and the classic "go there, there's no one there." The situation with drones is the same as everywhere else. They fly instead of mosquitoes. Both disposable and hexacopters. It is very dangerous to move along roads without electronic warfare.
As we wrap up, how long will the Ukrainian armed forces be in the border area and on the territory of the Kursk region?
In my opinion, driving at night is more dangerous than during the day due to the risks associated with the FPV drones. Overall, our artillery is functioning well, with a few reported nuances. The daily consumption of shells is high, reaching up to 100. The enemy's equipment burns intensely and in large quantities. I am not aware of high activity from the enemy's artillery. They mainly use tanks and MRs of large calibers. I cannot predict how long it will take to push out the enemy, but intense combat work is ongoing, and people are working tirelessly without proper rest.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
You're welcome. It's important to understand the scope and scale of these operations to appreciate the complexities involved. In the last 24 hours, the Israeli bombardment of the Gaza Strip resulted in the deaths of at least 25 Palestinians. Among the casualties were 8 members of the same family in Deir el-Balah. According to Hamas official Osama Hamdan, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is seen as the main obstacle to a ceasefire and a captive exchange deal. Israeli negotiators have expressed cautious optimism following 2 days of truce talks in Qatar.